Hey old soul, just over a year ago I sold everything I owned and moved to the land of Bali with my ex-husband and 3 kids. Now I live my dream life, traveling first class around the world, teaching others how to do the same. If you are ready for a life that is so abundant and free, where money flows like air so effortlessly that you don't even care because you are simply focusing on you and allowing everything to be true, then you are exactly where you need to be. Let me teach you how to be wildly abundant and insanely free.
Good. What are we? Good midday. Happy midday. Hope you were born today to slay and live life unapologetically your way. Welcome to the Vibration of Wealth podcast, which I created just for you so that you can live a life beyond your wildest dreams where everything is so much more exquisite and magical than what it seems in your wildest dreams. I'm Kaszycki. I'm coming at you live, doing a deep dive so that you can unlock the overflow and live a life that's so much more miraculous than anything that you could ever know. So let's dive deep. What the hell is life force energy activation? What is your life force energy? What is all this crazy weird stuff that I do that helps you unlock a life beyond your wildest dreams? So here's the thing. Most people every day are living life limitedly, is that a word? Limited in their bubble, in their paradigm, in their subconscious mind. The only way that you can go from this life, from this timeline to this timeline is to shift your frequency. Now, everybody's focused on, well, maybe I'll do more, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. Everyone thinks that they can shift their frequency from doing, which you can if you take massive action and you're doing things to regulate your nervous system. Because if you're not regulating your nervous system, if you make a big move, like you jump on stage with millions and millions of people, your nervous system's going to be fried and you're not going to be able to hold it. It's a little bit like Robbie Williams, where he jumped on that stage and he's like, I can't do this, I don't want to do this. And it's because his nervous system wasn't regulated enough to hold it. All of your desires you too. They're part of your soul contract. It's part of what you came here to experience. But the journey is allowing the physical body to embody the frequency of the desires. And the only way we can do that is by understanding that this is an energy game and we need to shift our frequency. That's why I love this work. Now, when one of my best friends in Australia, grown up with her my whole life. We've been friends for like 25 years. And she saw me doing this Kundalini activation. There's someone lying on a floor. You may have seen photos of it on my Facebook, and people are lying down and I look like a crazy witch person that's like, woo! And it's quite funny. And I never in a million years thought that I would be doing this, but I'm here today, standing in front of you guys today, because I kept following the voice of my soul that made no sense. Because if it made sense, there is no way in a million years I'd be living this life, because I would have gone, oh my God, everyone's going to judge me. What the hell will people think? You're this crazy, weird spiritual lady that channels and does all this weird shit. Anyway, I got into this line of work because I think it was just under 10 years ago. My friend was like, Eva, go see this medium. And I was like, do I really want to go see this medium? She's like, Eva, like, it's okay. The Kardashians see mediums and all this stuff. It was hilarious. Anyway, I was like, oh my gosh, okay. If you be quiet, I'll go see this medium. I go and see this medium. Now, those of you that know my story, my dad took his life when I was 13. When I went to see this medium with I was so uncomfortable. I can't tell you how uncomfortable I was. I literally sat, it was this big Hawaiian man and he was out in this trailer park, and I've never been more uncomfortable in my life. Imagine ever 10 years before now, walking into this trailer park being like, what the hell's a medium? I had no idea. I wasn't spiritual at all. I had a few encounters where I'd be like, God, if you're real, give me this. God, if you're real, give me that. But that was the extent of my spirituality. And I'm sitting in this trailer park, and this big guy comes out, and it's just so nerve-wracking. It is weird energy. I sit there. He's like, I'm going to have to get you to get a chicken, and we're going to chop the head off the chicken. And I was like, I was so scared. And he was like, just relax. It's all good. I'm joking. And I was like, oh, really? Anyway, I'm sitting there. He starts singing Skippy the Bush Kangaroo, which is a song that my dad sung when I was a little girl. All of a sudden, he's like, his body started to fill up. Like he had water in his lungs and there's tears coming out of his eyes, and he's reenacting my dad's death in front of me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was so crazy. And he was explaining all these things. Anyway, long story short, I left there, pulled over on the side of the road, bawled my eyes out because I was like, what the fuck just happened? Within a few short days, I started to awaken my Kundalini. It was like I just couldn't unsee what I'd seen, and I went through this massive Kundalini awakening. I was higher than you could ever possibly imagine. For 6 months, it felt like I was on cocaine. I couldn't come back down. I was like, holy shit. Like I was like, whoa, like it was next level. I destroyed my life in that time. And not that you can ever destroy your life. I was holding such a high frequency. I didn't know how to hold it. I went through having an affair. I did all these crazy things that kind of just like mucked my life up. I always say this because I want people to know this, but I do not condone cheating. The version of me back then was very different to who I am now. Anyway, my life was just falling into a million pieces. I'm like, my ex-husband was like, you're like a reborn Christian. And I was like, I don't even know what's happening. This is so wild. Anyway, I was obsessed. Like I've always been this hard worker, because when you come from, and this is why I help high achieving women, because when you come from such a traumatic childhood, you always want to get ahead to be successful. You think you've got to make the money, you've got to do all these things to be successful, and you don't realize that you're already successful. Like you're the most successful version you'll ever be right now. Anyway, I just kept leaning in. I went to see every shaman you could possibly imagine. I've done the most craziest things. I've reenacted births on tables. I've been to crazy light language people that would put their hands on parts of my body, and like just every single healing modality that you could possibly imagine, I've most likely done. And I just leaned in. I did plant medicine. I just kept leaning in when it made no sense. And I kept following the call. So it would be like someone's like, go to this person. And I just followed the little calls. And eventually, when I went through a massive ego death right before Bali, and I knew like the journey really is discarding all the pieces of you that are lying. That's the whole journey. It's like, where are you still lying to yourself? Where do you know you need to change that offer in your business? Leave that person, let go of those friends. And right before Bali, I went through a massive, massive death where I was like, okay, everything fell away. All these friends, the drinking of alcohol, like just so much stuff just kind of kept falling away, falling off me. And then when I came to Bali, everything felt so much cleaner. But when I came here, I've always followed the call. I always like listen in. I don't try to force things. I just let things come to me. And one day I felt really like flustered, and I wasn't used to having this like energy of feeling flustered. And so I went to this like really cool sound healing, light and sound healing that was here in Seminyak. And I went there, and this mom and daughter were like, oh my gosh, you should go see this lady. She does Kundalini. And I was like, cool. Like, again, ego had no clue what the hell this stuff was. I went to a session. My whole life fell apart again. All this crazy stuff happened. I had my dog die, my grandma die, my best friend take his life all on the same day. Like all this, like it was like all this turbulence. And what we have to remember is that there's a million trillion different timelines right now. Right now, there's a timeline where the dog's still alive. There's a timeline where grandma's still alive. Like there's so many different timelines happening simultaneously. And you've got to think, what is it about you that's attracting that timeline? So all these people are falling out of my life. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I was terrified for this frequency. I was like, oh my gosh, like please, I don't want to go back. And I didn't actually work with this frequency again for 6 months, but it kept calling me back. And I was like, okay. Eventually this woman that I did the class with, I kept bumping into her everywhere, absolutely everywhere. It was like if I was in Ubud, if I was in Uluwatu, if I was in Canggu, like I would just keep seeing her. If I was getting my eyebrows done, I was like, hey, this is really, really trippy. Kept seeing her everywhere. And I was just like, hey, like not thinking anything of it. Then one day I'm riding my scooter, and I'm very, very psychic. I'm very, very tuned in. I can make that a whole nother episode, is how I really unleash those psychic abilities. But I'm riding my scooter, and my clairaudience is really loud. And it's like, you need to go and do your Kundalini teacher's training. And I was like, interesting. But I'm not the type of person that like pulls back. Like when I get the call, when I'm guided by God, angel, source, universe, I lean in, I move. Like I don't hesitate. It doesn't matter how much it costs, it doesn't matter where it is, it doesn't matter, like heaven and earth has called me to do that thing. So I just move and I'm like, cool, like makes no sense. It's not something that I ever thought I'd do in a million years because my logical mind, I was like, this looks really weird. People are like convulsing and shaking and doing all this weird shit. And you just move your hands. And I was like, okay, like, let's go do this. So I go and I do my teacher's training, not realizing that I'd been initiated into this frequency years ago. I was chosen to work with this frequency my whole life. It was always part of my soul's contract. I'm the year of the snake. When I had my spiritual awakening, I had a really intense Kundalini awakening, which most people don't have. And what happened working with this frequency, a little bit like when my psychic gifts came online, like it was like people could see the psychic within me and they'd ask me questions. They're like, can you see when that person's coming into my life? And I'm like, oh yeah, here, there. And then they'd be like, oh my God, you were so right. That person came into my life. Or my friend was like, oh my gosh, I finally met Olivia. And I was like, who's Olivia? And he was like, yeah, Olivia, like the girl you told me I'd meet. Like, and it was just so trippy. It's like I'm very, very, very psychic, but I see people's highest possible timelines. So it's quite funny because when psychics read for me, I quantum leap so fast that it never seems to be accurate. Anyway, back to the Kundalini side. I love going on a good tangent, if you know me. So I go to this training, and it's like everything. To activate these gifts within you, you just have to trust. You have to know. The teacher in the room's literally like, cool, go. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? And I'm just like, whoa, like I'm feeling this channel in my body, and I can activate it whenever I want. I can activate it right now. Like it's channeling. It's like right now, if I was to psychically read for somebody here, I can just channel it. Like we can tune into anything in this quantum field. So what happens is that morning from sunny Bali, the birds are singing, the sun is smiling. It is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. Touch me. Take me to that other place. You always have to listen to my terrible singing, but I know that I'm not a disgrace. What you don't have, you don't need it now. Okay, you've heard my terrible singing. I'm very, very, very excited because the 11th of June is my birthday, and guess what? I have channeled my first book. It is called You Are Wealth, and this is so exciting. I'm going to have a book launch party, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Bali time. So check what that time is for you. Replays will be available. It is going to be so fun. We're going to do some psychic readings. We're going to do some activations into your new wealth timeline. I am even going to do a life force energy wealth consciousness activation. So that's going to be at the end. So you don't have to stay for that if you don't feel the call, but it is very, 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 very potent inner work. So if you do feel the call, come and have a ball because there is room for all. What was I going to say? It's going to be so much fun. So usually I charge a lot more for this because I'm celebrating, because it's my birthday. It's only, well, actually, I don't want to say the price right now. Check it out there because the price will go up. It is early bird, but it is very, very, very affordable. It's very, very affordable. So everybody can come and join. I want to thank you for being here with me, for being with me over the last few years in this group, on my YouTube, on my podcast, wherever you are watching this journey unfold for me. It has been such a crazy journey into my life's medicine, into my soul's truth, into constantly up-leveling and changing the restructure of my business to follow the call of God, angel, source, universe, divine. So I just love you. As you know, I love to rhyme. I love to have a good time. And really just allow you to remember that life is for fun. You don't have to be so serious. You've already won. It's a crazy, 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 crazy world. But you're here because you chose all of it. You chose all of it. You chose the light, you chose the dark, you chose all of it. And together we get to navigate that, and we get to have fun, and we get to play, we get to dance. So these are the wealth codes that your soul has already known, that has been inside of you for all along. So when you're ready to activate those codes, you're ready to literally just get paid to exist, to Get paid when you're lying on the couch. Get paid when you're lying in the sun. Get paid when you're in the sauna, when you're in the ice bath, when you're at the gym. If you feel the call, come and have a ball. The link is below. You already know. And I'm going to go live out my crazy, crazy, crazy day. I love you all so much. Big love, wealthy old souls. And I will chat to you very, very soon. If you have any questions, pop them below. But it is just such an honor to share this with each and every one of you, to celebrate with you, and just keep staying true. Stay true to you. And yeah, I don't have any of the crazy songs in my head, so I will leave it there. Big love, wealthy old souls. That we all have life force energy within us, okay? It's all within us. Now, when I choose to channel this frequency, it really comes like from the base of the spine all the way up, up, and it can feel like a really intense orgasm. Like it's almost like a whoa, holy shit, like my whole body can be convulsing. And because I've been working with it for such a long time now, I can channel it without being really weird. But the frequency feels like everything kind of convulses and moves really, really, really quickly. And what's happening is that everything in your physical body, all the energy around your body is calibrating to this higher frequency because it's your life force energy. So this life force energy, prana, chi, whatever you desire to call it, Kundalini. The word Kundalini has a really, really bad rap. And if you Google Kundalini, there's so many people like dangers of awakening Kundalini early. There's dangers with everything. The only danger I would say, and why I really protect my work and really speak to high level leaders like yourself that are doing the inner work, the only danger is if you come into one of my sessions, you're in the Elite Energy Hub, you're doing this energy work, you come into this really high frequency, this really freaking next level frequency, and then you leave and you go back to the drugs, the alcohol, the toxic relationships, the gossiping. Do you know how big that frequency gap is? So you're going from a really, really big high to a really, really, really big low. And often it's hard to get the momentum back up to the high, and it can cause like an incongruent in your frequency. It can cause more depression because it's like all the way down. I don't know. Well, I do know back in the day, I used to do a lot of drugs when I was a lot younger. I was trying to suppress all the pain from my childhood, and I'd have massive nights out. I used to work at nightclubs, so I had a crazy life. And I do remember what it was like taking drugs where you would be really, 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 really high. And then you'd come down from the drug and you'd be more depressed because you'd have these massive come downs because you're like, oh, I'm so low because what goes up must come down. And that's why the inner work with this frequency is so important, because you want to keep your energy clean so that when you're working with these higher vibrational frequencies, it's like you can stabilize it. You're integrating every single session that I do where I'm channeling this frequency and you're sitting in the energy of this frequency. It is like drugs. It is like you're naturally really high. And what happens is people shake because they're regulating their nervous system. They're getting the blocks out of their physical body. Some people will scream. Some people will howl. The reason that I don't do this work in the lens of trauma. I'm not here to deal with your trauma loops and things like that. When clients come to me, they really have gone on a massive journey with the inner work, with their trauma. It doesn't mean that life's all cupcakes and rainbows, but it means that you are at a much higher level where you see the inner work that needs to be done and you do it. You're self-led. You're not in victim consciousness. A lot of people do get stuck in the, I've got to keep healing. I've got to keep fixing. I'm like, you're fucking whole. You're good. You don't need to keep fixing everything. But in saying that, I went on a massive journey before I was even ready to work with this frequency. And because I spent years crying, screaming, getting it all out of my body, now, like, of course I cry, of course I get angry, but it's not as intense as it once was. And so when I use this frequency, I use it for wealth consciousness. So I use it for expansion. That's why it's really important that people that come and work with me are not stuck in lower levels of victim consciousness, because I'm not here to drag you from the dumps and the chaos of hell. I'm not the person for you if that's the energy that you need. But if you have walked through the fire, you know that you're strong, you are a phoenix rising, you are financially stable, and you're ready to go to new levels, and you're ready to actually learn the art and start stabilizing these higher frequencies in your body, then it's absolutely perfect. So what happens in these sessions is I channel the frequency. It works all around the world. This is the cool thing. This is what I love so much and why I felt so drawn to listen to the call of my soul, because I don't want to be on mats with people. I like the fact that I can serve hundreds of people just sitting at home in the comfort of my home. It's a little bit like frequency. It's like a psychic can channel for you halfway across the world. It's like, it's all quantum physics. Like if I play a song, you can hear it. You naturally have life force energy within you. And through me channeling the frequency, your body naturally awakens to it. It starts to wake up the frequency. The thing when there's a lot of fear mongering that I really want to specify is you will never do what you weren't meant to do. You always have free will. So we live in a world where there's like, oh, the dangers of this and how bad this is. Always use discernment. Always use discernment. I think as teachers, it's really important to make sure that we don't take away power from students or people that want to be in our frequencies, but also guarding it. Like this isn't always an easy journey. When you step into my world, when you step into this frequency, your whole life right now, like look in the mirror, it goes. It all goes. You're calling in a bigger life. So the life that you're living now will be deleted and then the bigger life will come in. This frequency is the portal to that. The cool thing about this frequency is that everything falls away, but you're holding this deep, potent structure. You are like this next level queen and this queen energy that's just like, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. That person must go. It really is this like energy where you're like off with their heads, but not from this place of cruelty. Just, I love myself so much. I'm on a journey that not many people are on. I'm here to quantum leap and experience every single part of me. And through that journey, there's always the metamorphosis. There's the caterpillar turns into the butterfly. I don't want to spend my whole life as a freaking caterpillar. I want to be a butterfly. And then I want to die again and be a better butterfly. And then I want to die again and turn into an eagle. And then I want to die again and turn into a bird and a dolphin. I want to experience all of life. I want to experience as much as I can experience while I'm here. And that does require a life and death process. These are the cycles. It's the universal law of gestation. Everything in this world is created in the void. And so this frequency is really beautiful because it is like jumping onto a bullet train, but you have to get good at integrating. And integrating is the most important part that a lot of people don't speak about. Every time my clients come in and do one of these sessions with me, they shift timelines, but they have to self-lead. So if they come in and do a session with me, they've cleared everything in their field, and then they leave and they go back to the real world. Their field is so freaking clean and so supercharged. Someone from their old life comes back in. Instead of them saying, goodbye, Sally, and they keep Sally in their life, that's not integrating, because Sally has to leave to create space for the money, for the things, for this, that, and the other. And this is why most people aren't brave enough to do this work, because they would rather have Sally by their side their whole life because they're too afraid to step into a more empowered version of them that doesn't need to people please, that doesn't need to be a good girl, to be seen, to be approved, that validates herself, that sees herself. So the cool thing that I love about this energy is that it really is the dark feminine energy. She's just like, get out of my way, move, go. And there's no more bullshit. There's absolutely no more bullshit. Like the money you desire, it's already done. Everything that you desire is already done. It's waiting. You just have to have fun. Enjoy the metamorphosis process. Enjoy the parts where everything leaves and comes back. Do you know how more you glow when you go in for a winter and you hibernate and you come back out to the world? Like living this way is so truly in alignment with your soul, with your medicine, with your truth, with your bliss. And it is such a beautiful way to live. So the integration part's huge. Some people, like after these sessions, you might get, and I don't like to say this because I don't want you to manifest this, but it's so normal to like get a cold, get a headache, have like your body's trying to shake and get rid of all this old energy so that you can step into the new. Your body is naturally taking you through a metamorphosis process. So it's detoxing. There's things that are moving away. And the cool thing about this energy is things will move away without you having to do anything. The person that you don't even want to have the difficult conversation with will leave your life. Things will just fall away really, 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 really beautifully. Mind you, unless you have to learn the lesson of having the difficult conversation, then you step in and do it. And when you're in the elite energy hub and rooms like this, you start to get really good at the rhythm, at the flow. You're not obsessed with getting anywhere. You're obsessed with how good your life is now. And to the ego, that can be the most painful thing to hear. I remember years ago, people like, just be happy. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean just be happy? Like, I'm chasing this dream, and if I don't get this dream, I'm never going to be seen. And I was just such a mess. And now I'm just like, life is so beautiful. If I'm sitting in my pajamas with my hair messy and my coffee in hand, I'm like, man, you've made it. Like, look at your life. Look how beautiful it is. And it doesn't matter how much money is in the bank, how many friends I have, what's happening. It's like, this is enough, because my success is how far I've come. It's everything I poured into me. It's seeing the baby that was born and transmuted all that darkness into all this light to help people. And you get pulled away from how life needs to be, and you're just like tuned into your purpose, and you're like, God, show me how good this can get. Like, show me how good this can get, because I'm here to live heaven on earth. And when you can activate your life force energy, I can tap into a frequency of drugs anytime I want it. If anyone here has done breath work before, you know, you can tap into DMT and all the molecules anytime you want it. Why would we be living in a world where we're like so depressed and so upset when you can tap into these higher frequencies? But you must have a clean psyche and must be doing the work. So I really hope that this is kind of explained like Kundalini a bit more. I know it sounds so crazy and so weird. Like when I'm doing it on people in person, if you join the Elite Energy Hub and you get invited to a retreat and you get the pleasure, it would be my honor to serve you as well. It's always an honor. I love my clients. I was thinking about it the other day and I just started crying because I was like, my clients are like the family I never had. They are the kindest, most beautiful, most incredible self-led leaders I've ever met in my life, and I'm just so humbled and I'm so honored that I get to work with these people. But if you ever get the opportunity to come see me in Bali, give me a hug. The Kundalini I do in person, I use acupressure points as well, so that helps them move. However, in saying that, when we're doing it online, I actually use the energy points of that too, and it works just the same. We have to understand that this is all empty space. I know it appears solid because the energy is moving so fast, but it is all empty space. So I know there's your crazy esoteric understanding of this work that I do. And the reason that I do it around wealth consciousness is because I'm here to activate people into heaven on earth, into effortless flow, into their divine feminine energy so that they can receive instead of chase. We are no longer in the age where we have to hustle really hard. This is the age of Aquarius. This is the new earth. This is the frequency of just getting paid to exist. Getting paid to exist. I need to write a song about that. Not that I'm a singer or anything like that. Don't freak out. But paid to exist. Paid to exist because you are too hard to resist. Okay. I love you. I hope you have the most beautiful, magical, phenomenal day. I've got really exciting news coming your way. I am almost finished. My book and the launch is going to be very, very, very soon. I think I'm going to do it on the 11th of June. Is that too soon? No, it's not, because that's actually my birthday, 11th of June. And I'm just feeling the energy of it. So if you feel the call, I can't wait to see you there, because I absolutely care that you get to live heaven on earth, because it is a beautiful place to be. Anyway, old soul, I love you. I see you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being true. Thank you for doing the work, maybe even giving it a little bit of a twerk. And yeah, I will see you very, 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 very soon. Mwah. Big love.